Alright guys, this is week 1, day 3. So looking at the strategy, I have 238 divided by 9, and I have to do 2 strategies. So the first one I'm going to do is is the traditional algorithm. So I'm looking at this as 9 into 23 because 9 can't go into 2. I can't make groups of 9 from 2. So 9 times 2 gives me 18. That's as far as I can go without going over 23. I subtract, and that leaves me with 5, and then I can bring down my 8. So now I have 9 into 58, which would be 6, because 9 times 6 is 54. So I'd write my 54 here, and I'm left with a remainder of 4. Next strategy is partial quotient. It's very similar to the algorithm, except for you're really understanding what you're doing with the numbers. Okay, so 9 can't go into 2, but it can go into 23, 2 times again. So 2 times would be 18, but because I want to go ahead and subtract all this away, I'm going to annex a 0 here, which means I annex a 0 there. So this number is actually 20. And so now I subtract, and that gives me 58. And then again, 9 times 6 is 54. So I'll write my 6 over here under my partial product. And I subtract, and that leaves me with a remainder of 4. So I add up my partial product, and that is 26 with the remainder of 4. So I just wrote it on the top. Okay. List the factors for each number. So for 30, my factors are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. For 23 is 1 and 23. So if you notice, this is a prime number, and this is composite. Okay. List the multiples, the first 5 multiples. Notice that this is the word multiples. Okay, so a multiple means that if I were to multiply 8 times 2, that product would make it a multiple of 8. So 8 times 1 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 3 is 24, times 4 is 32, and times 5 is 40. For 12, 12 times 1 is 12, times 2 is 24, times 3 is 36, times 4 is 48, and times 5 is 60. So, solving using order of operations, I have GEMDAS over here, which is groupings, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever comes first because they're equal operations, addition or subtraction, whichever comes first because these are also equal operations. And I would solve those from left to right. So as I'm looking, I have no groupings, no exponents, but I do have multiplication. So I'm going to solve multiplication first. So 4 times 5 is 20. Then I would bring down the rest of my equation, which is my 36 and my subtraction sign. Now all I have left is whatever that one operation is, so I really don't need to check back through GEMDAS because I just have one expression left. So 36 minus 20 is 16. So my answer is 16. Mrs. Guilford bought a CD for $15.90 and a book for $28. She now has $7.62 in her wallet. How much money did she have before making the purchase? Okay, so what I wanted to do was to add up everything, and that would give me back however much was in Miss Guilford's wallet or pocket. So the one thing that I want to make sure that I do is, yes, this says $28, but I also need to put it in the right place and annex 2 zeros behind the decimal to represent that $28.00. If I line that up all correctly, that gives me $51.52. Okay. Create a model to find the solution. 99 shirts are packed in boxes of 8. How many boxes are needed to pack all the shirts? Okay. So as we look at this, I have 8 shirts in each box. If I think about that, 8 times 12 gets me to 96, and then I have 3 boxes left over. So if that's the case, then I have 12 boxes of 8 shirts and 1 box of 3 shirts. But this says how many boxes are needed to pack all the shirts. So that means I need 1 more box. So that means I need 13 boxes to pack all the shirts. All right, next one. Anna says the answer of 4 plus 2 times 3 equals 18. Amy says the answer equals 10. Who is correct? Well, let's look. If we go back through GMDOS, which is groupings, exponents, multiplication or division, left to right, addition or subtraction, left to right. Okay, so let's look. I'm going to skip past addition because I can see I have no groupings, no exponents, but I do have multiplication. So because of that, I'm going to solve 2 times 3 first, and that gives me 6. Then I bring down my 4 and my plus sign. Now I'm just left with addition, so 4 plus 6 is 10. So Amy is correct, and Anna is not correct because she did not follow the order of operations. Okay, let's look at number 3. The Peel Shoe Company has 6 factories located in the northeastern region of the U.S. 87 people work at each factory. How many people work for the Peel Shoe Company? Begin by writing an answer statement. So if I were to think about this, there are 6 factories, and this word right here is the number 87. So with 6 factories times 87 people, that would give me 522 people in total. So if I'm writing this as a statement, 522 people work for the Peel Shoe Company. Last one is also an order of operations. Solve using order of operations, show each step. So again, GMDOS. Okay, so I go to groupings. I do have a grouping. It's 3 times 8. So I solve that. That's 24. I bring everything else down except for my groupings. I don't need the groupings anymore because they're solved. So I'm left with addition and division. Well, if I go back to my order of operations, there's no exponents, but there is multiplication or division. So now I divide. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So I solved that, and I bring the 9 and the plus sign down. So now I'm left with the last operation, and it is 9 plus 4, which equals 13. So my final answer is 13. Have a good evening, guys.